Do you want to move your life forward in the most positive way using astrology? Then let's talk about the astrological patterns for November 2014. The month begins with Mars, the action planet, in the sign Capricorn, and it's going to stay in that sign the entire month. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and when we have Mars transiting a cardinal sign, that means powerful energy is at our disposal. Now, when Mars is in Capricorn, it functions extremely well. This is the sign that Mars is exalted in. And so this means our efficiency has the opportunity to go through the roof. This is when we can get a lot done. And in a moment, I'll point out some specific days where that energy is going to be supercharged. The full moon in November is early in the month. It happens on November 6th. Now, that's the full moon in Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign, and the moon happens to be exalted in that sign. I tend to call this the manifesting moon because the moon in Taurus wants to bring something to the earth plane. It's working with the sun in Scorpio. So when you have that Scorpio-Taurus polarity, there is laser beam energy to bring something to the earth plane, to manifest it, to bring something into physical form. Keep that in mind for that full moon. And then right after the full moon, right around November 8th, Mercury will once again hit the 0-degree Scorpio mark. Now, the reason that that's important is because Mercury started off there in late September, and then in October went retrograde, and it's hit that 0-degree Scorpio mark 3 times. So finally, November 8th, it hits it for the 3rd time, and what you might notice is that whatever you started to think about or perhaps started to put into action in late September may come to fruition now in the early part of November. Track that. Go back to late September. Find out if there were any new ideas that you had or actions that you started at that time. See if you can notice if there's a clarification in the early part of November now, or perhaps the fruition of those ideas. And then, right around November 10th through the 12th, we're going to have Mars making those very dynamic aspects. Mars will conjunct Pluto, and then Mars will square the planet Uranus. So during that time, around the 10th, 11th, and 12th, that's the time when energy is really at its peak. Make sure you're doing something with all that cardinal energy. Take action, move something forward. Your efficiency may be very high at that time. And then on the 22nd of November, we have the delightful new moon in Sagittarius. I'll talk about that more in my next new moon video, but that tends to be a very fun and lighthearted new moon. So to summarize the astrological patterns for November, there's just a few dates to remember. On November 6th, we have that full moon in Taurus. You're going to want to try to manifest something, or at least laser beam your thoughts out. On November 8th, we have Mercury hitting that 0-degree Scorpio mark, and you might find something comes to fruition that you started in late September. And then November 10th through 12th, remember, high energy. Just channel it, activate it, engage it. And then we have the new moon later in the month. And please remember, for the entire month of November, you have that high energy Mars and Capricorn that you can engage. Thank you. I'm Kathy Rose.